DOT cracks down on bad carriers. That's the latest headline coming out of some certain trucking publications here recently. Some in Trucking Today say that the days of treating our industry like another version of Peaky Blinders might consider carefully their next move. You see, for years we've watched a certain type of carrier work its way into our industry. The Department of Transportation has revealed some data and some numbers. And you want to hear what they're going to do to change things in trucking coming up here in 2026. Greetings, truck lovers and truth seekers from all over the United States of trucking. Boss Man here with the Truth in Broadcasting Network, giving you critical thinking, fueled by faith, sanctioned by God. Folks, I was cruising through YouTube recently and ran across a video that I thought was particularly interesting. In that video, I noticed a driver doing a lot of complaining. He was mad. I mean, boiling over mad about rules, regulations, the fact that the industry had changed so much. And it seemed to me that in that moment of venting, he made his choice long before he turned that camera on. One thing I noticed is happiness isn't a trend. It's a choice. I get it. We're all divided. We have our thoughts. This person belongs here. This person don't. This part of the industry is worse than the other. All of that may be true, but let me tell you something. The world keeps passing out detours. Every time you turn around, rules are changing. Politicians are pointing one way. Influencers are pointing another way. But happiness, that's a choice. That's a choice left solely up to you. It's not a crowd-funded thing you have to tap into every day. It's a solid choice. When you live angry and you see enemies everywhere, you're only going to end up with one result. When you live informed and you see solutions, that's when you live better. That's when you take every bit of the energy that you have and you put it to productive things. It's irrevocable. It's one of the things that I've committed to on this channel. You'll notice I seldom rant, but even in any rants I do, I'm still making a solid choice that in what I provide brings you value. Happiness is a choice. I'm going to ask you to make the right choice. Take a step toward happiness, go down below, hit that like button, and let's move on to more on DOT crackdowns. So what is a chameleon carrier? For those of you not immersed in trucking like the average Joe,
let's face it, a chameleon carrier is usually a carrier who failed and then created a new authority to be able to fix their failure, such as bad safety scores, or they got a bunch of freight guards, or whatever mistakes they made on their original authority. They think that obtaining a new authority wipes those mistakes away.
Chameleon carrier in trucking terms is a company that refuses to die. After a crash, a bad score, or a bad problem, company shuts down and then opens back up. Instead of fixing anything, they simply change their name. They get a brand new set of DOT numbers, new tag, new whole 9 yards, re-register it, and then roll back out onto the highway as if nothing ever happened. Same people, same equipment, same dangerous habits. It's a trucking version of watching a cockroach go under the refrigerator. It's still there. It's just waiting on you to move.
Former Hope Trans drivers gave us shipping records they say are altered to mask the number of hours they'd been driving.
They didn't care about rules or laws or violations. They said, don't worry about it. We'll take care of that.
The former driver snapped a photo of his company fuel card. The name on it? B-Zone Logistics.
The B-Zone, I was like, why? What is B-Zone?
Is that normal?
No, it's not. It was a red flag.
And a clue to a bigger industry problem known as a chameleon carrier. At the time of the Terrell crash, Aishat Magomedova was listed as the owner of Hope Trans. Her husband, Sarver Miradov, was tied to B-Zone Logistics and another company, Crackdown Trucking, both with troubled safety histories. All three companies listed the same Orlando address.
They're morphing from one non-compliant company into another, but the people, the operation behind it remains the same.
Now, just like in this clip, Washington's finally come around to admitting it's a problem. And they're saying, and I quote, "We've developed a new plan to stop these carriers from skipping accountability." And that brings us to what this new plan actually is. By the way, it's linked in the description below. The DOT is basically building a system to track behavioral patterns. Patterns that match known chameleon carriers and flag them before they cause another catastrophic crash. It aims to identify carriers that share suspicious similarities with previously shut down companies, analyze DOT numbers, addresses, phone numbers, business filings, insurance data, and the like, and find hidden relationships, build a risk scoring matrix, a digital spotlight that highlights carriers' behaviors, like those that are considered high risk, and flag carriers for investigations earlier instead of waiting for a fatality or a lawsuit or an insurance nightmare to expose, like in the video earlier. They promise that they're going to stop them before they hit the road again. Tell me if you believe that one in the comments below. Folks, everything I've just laid out that they're proposing to do sounds pretty bold, doesn't it? I only hope that they have better success doing this than they have with previous commitments in the past. Here's the one thing we don't know. This article talks about a plan, but so far it's only a draft. As powerful as it sounds, we still don't know the rules. We don't know what the thresholds are. They're unclear. They haven't stated anything like that. We don't know any of the timelines. None of them have been made public. And the manpower needed to make this stick hasn't been disclosed. To me, it seems like the federal government's promising to hunt down shadows while barely admitting that they haven't even bought the flashlight. They claim they want to look at things like pattern matching, corporate officer names being reused from multiple companies, recycled phone numbers, tracking simple things like VIN numbers, plate numbers, insurance filings. The one thing I think they need to do, if I hear about it in the next advisory, will make all the difference. And vigorously tracking safety history. We've been down this road before. They promise good action, they promise swift moves, and then bingo, before you know it, we're back to square one. But principles without teeth are a sermon without the congregation. So every time the DOT finds a way to stop these bad actors, Hope Trans, the bad actors wind up evolving faster than they do. They get smarter, they hire consultants, or they find insiders. They bury ownership behind LLCs, they move money to offshore entities, and the list goes on. And right now, the chameleon carriers are bringing night vision goggles to a fight where the DOT is still fumbling, trying to find the light switch. We can definitely take solace in the fact that at least they admit they know they have a problem. Comment below what you think the solution is to guarantee they're ahead of the bad actors. Because I, for one, I take solace knowing they're at least acknowledging the problem. But until we see enforcement, all we've got is a promise. If history tells us anything, we don't run on promises. We run on proof. So until then,
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.